Welcome to the footprints of our decisions. I have a question for you. Well, actually, I have two questions. Do you remember the first time that you prayed? Might have been as a little child. Second question is this: do you remember the first time you prayed and got results? Which makes all the difference in the world. You know, prayer is more than just petitions, supplications, requests, our 911s to get us out of trouble from our own consequences and repercussions. But prayer is a divine mandate that will eventually lead to a divine appointment. Now, our reading today comes from my second chapter. It's called My Jabez Experience with Prayer. My earliest memories of prayer as a child were during the late night hours right before the television would sign off. A message would come across the screen asking parents, "Do you know where your children are?" It didn't matter if I was in the middle of a conversation with my mother or not. The room would pause, and she would suddenly stop, turn around in the chair where she was sitting, hardly standing up first, just a quick twist, and on her knees she would go. A sacred hush came over that paused room, and simultaneously my father would do the same. During these times, I knew to keep quiet, not move around, and be still because my parents were doing something sacred or religious. Back then, we called it talking to God. Now, I didn't understand the words prayer and sacred, but I did know one thing. This sacred hush in the room shook all the leaves off my tree. One night, I finally got the courage to ask my mother, "What are you doing when you get down on your knees like that at night?" Because the prayers she prayed were silent. I never got to hear any words spoken. Maybe it was because I was too young to hear such things. Maybe they were saying things to God about me and they didn't want me to hear. However, I needed to know. After clearing my throat with a quivering voice, I asked, "Mom, what is that you're doing every night on your knees?" She said, "I'm talking to the Lord in a matter-of-fact way." Then I said something that must have offended her. "How do you know the Lord hears you or is even real?" In her well-known Ida Mae Parrish voice, she said, "I'll tell you what, you ask him if he's real." Not only did my mother's wind blow all the leaves off my little tree that night, but it also pulled some of my roots up. So I was not about to ask her any more questions about her Lord. My provocations were noted. And I thank God for the opportunity to read that, to ask you the questions about praying and getting results. Now, I went on to accomplish a lot of things in my prayer life, but I want to leave this note with you. If you're teaching anything, teach your children about prayer. Teach them how to pray. Teach them to get to know God for themselves. I would just like to continue to read, but I want to share this little note with you. Don't just use God as a spare tire. So the only time that you need him is when you have a flat, or the air goes out of your tire, or a 911 when you're in trouble. God is more than that. So just remember this about prayer. Remember that a divine mandate eventually will lead to a divine appointment. God bless you. I need you to continue on this journey with me. I love you with the truth. I need you to like, I need you to follow, and I need you to share this video. God bless.